So we have an update on the proud misandrist who says that women should cheat on men because all men can afford to be cheated on. Yeah, so she followed that up by doubling down and asking this question.
Is it the man's reaction to being cheated on that you're afraid of? Is it his?
I responded like so. I said, oh, I'm worried his feelings will be hurt. And I'm also worried that your more extreme and radical takes discredit all the valid work you claim to do advocating against real issues. I've purchased 3 books from Black authors this month. I know that last part seems random, but she said at the end of her video that the only way she'll take any opinion seriously is if we show receipts that we support Black people. Anyway, she says, cheating is extreme to you. Have you seen what they do to us? To which I said, no, your take on cheating is extreme. I have. I've actually been knifed repeatedly and almost by a man. Then dozens of other men ensured he was taken care of and punished, helped me recover, and supported me. I would not want to hurt a man who didn't hurt me just because someone else did. There are also so many other flaws in her worldview, so let's point them all out. First of all, if a woman cheats on a man with another man or several other men, then all she's doing is sexually gratifying more men, therefore serving and centering more men, which seems anti-misandry. So you're pretty bad at this. Next, you claim here that your business, because yes, this is all being posted from a business page, is a safe space for people, but per your own misandrist views, that can't possibly be true. Because you say that all men are bad because they are conditioned since birth to be bad. So even if a person who is assigned male at birth transitions into a woman, they have still spent their formative years being socialized and conditioned the same way every other man is. So per your own worldview, you are supposed to hate women. And if a person who is assigned female at birth transitions into a man, then you are invalidating their identity by not hating them as much as you would every other man and denying them the gender euphoria of experiencing your complete misandry. Now, her absolutely unhinged takes would be pretty easy to ignore. However, there's one more criticism that I have for her, which is the fact that in every single video, she keeps saying that we need to show receipts for ourselves supporting Black women, which she totally does, even though she never shows us receipts of that. And you really need to hear this. Stop using people of color as your meat shield to defend your horrible, hateful takes. This whole co-opting of other demographics' adversities by liberal white women every time they're cornered is honestly an epidemic. I cannot believe that you are claiming to be an ally while using Black women as your sword and shield to defend your bigotry. I do not know what is going on with this "I'm not like the other white women, I'm different" pick-me act, but you only have one thing right here. You're not like the other women. You're worse, and we don't claim you.
Have men ever thought about telling you how they feel while it's happening?
There is nothing we would love more than to be able to do that. But have women ever realized how they respond to men when that happens? Let me show you a prime example.
What is the most painful thing anyone has ever said to you?
It was definitely what my ex said after we had our closure moment. She said that I was the person that got her out of her depression and got her outside. And then the moment that she realized she had to do that for me, she couldn't. And so she left me. I was in a very dark place. I had a lot of people at that time.
The moment this man opened up to her and explained to her how he was struggling because he was having deaths in his family, and how now the same way that he helped her get through her mess, he was in need of her to help him work through his. And she showed him why he should have never done that. For any of the ladies watching, you think this is a one-off? Go ahead and read the comments of this video. Any of the men who have experienced anything like this, please tell us about it. If your man is not opening up to you, it's because you have taught him it's not safe to. I know this is very hard for some ladies to comprehend, but maybe you should take some accountability in this one. Show some empathy for a man when he's struggling, instead of weaponizing it against him.
So I am dating again. Bears to say. I'm on Raya and Bumble. Raya is like a silent disco. Bumble is... Verdict is still out. I have gone on dates on Bumble, so better yield as far as dates. But I'm also realizing men don't know how to ask women out, so I'm going to help you out. This is how you ask a woman out. Repeat after me. I would like to take you out and get to know you better. Are you free Friday night? There's a insert spot. I would like to take you. Can I pick you up? Yes or no? Yes. What's your address? Give me your phone number. May I have your phone number? No. Well, here's the address. I'll meet you there at said time. Let me know if you change your mind. I could also call you an Uber. Period. That is how you ask a woman out nowadays. You're welcome.
All women want is a man's love and attention.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Well,
that is so stupid.
Coming from a woman, that's the truth. But you always have to expect that the man or woman you are talking to is probably talking to other people, and you're going to get your heart broken. So
that's also really accurate advice.
Even if he tells you you're the only one, you're probably not.
And this is exactly the same for women. You know that to be true. I'm not saying maybe you specifically, but you know women are probably actually worse.
No, I think if anything, men are worse at that.
No.
Yes. Yeah, no. Men are worse. When women love, they only love one.
Stop the cap.
No, I'll tell you why women are worse. Is because women always, no matter how far in a relationship you are, always have other options. Men, on the other hand, they do in the very beginning stages of dating, but as they become more sincere and they love way harder, I believe, than women, and then they lose. They do. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows they do.
There's no fool that loves harder than me.
No. It's way harder for a dude to love. When a dude loves, it's way harder than a girl, and it's way less fugazi, float in the wind. Today I feel like this, so I don't want to do this anymore. It's like I'll go through thick and thin. But women aren't like that. They're just not designed like that.
A lot of women are losers, and I want to talk about it. A lot of y'all feel like men should provide for you guys and should upgrade your lifestyles, but you have nothing in return to give to him. Therefore, that makes you a loser. And you always are so quick to call men losers if they live at home with their mom or if they don't have a job. You'll label them a loser very quickly, but a lot of y'all be baby mamas living off the government, don't have, like I said, nothing to offer anyone. You can't even look at yourself in the mirror and be accountable, then have the nerve to call someone else a loser. Yeah, loser. And the amount of women that encourage bad behavior, negativity, and the catty-like behavior. Yeah, loser mentality. And the thing about losers, they want to make other people losers. So this is why you see them being so miserable and trying to make other women miserable. And women lie to each other, and instead of telling each other the truth, they would just rather normalize bad behavior. It's disgusting. And a lot of women make horrible decisions. They live with no discipline. They don't care how they carry themselves, and they just project all of their negative energy back onto men. It's the patriarchy. Not to mention, a lot of you guys are complaining about the very men that you raise. You don't want to date the men that you raise. And why is that? Is it because a lot of you guys don't even want to be mothers? And y'all complain about all of the things that make women beautiful, that make women unique. You guys hate that about yourselves and still find a way to blame it on men.
Most men are unattractive. Woo!
Most men are deeply unattractive because of Mother Nature and something called the Great Scam. The Great Scam was the day that the male of the species convinced the female of the species that it no longer needed to prove itself worthy in order to reproduce and have babies. But the fact that the men are ugly says otherwise, right? They're not supposed to exist. They're supposed to be cannon fodder to the strong, attractive men who are worthy of having babies. So while y'all are out here being like the men don't take care of themselves, that's why they're unattractive. No, you're a 10,000-year-old genetic anomaly. He's not supposed to exist, babe. There's no amount of moisturizer and sunscreen that will change the fact that his great-great-great-great-great-grandma should have fucking swallowed him. We are out here fucking and making babies like we're a goddamn endangered species, but the breeding stock is foul. And that's why most men are ugly, okay? They DEI'd themselves into someone's grandma's coochie, and now we are all forced to deal with the consequences of that. Sucks.
Before we point fingers, we want to take a look at ourselves and see if we're better than the person that we're about to criticize. Because she's calling men unattractive, and she's not the most attractive female. It's like, did you look at yourself before you make a video talking about most men are unattractive? I bet you did, but you just thought that you could post a video like this and a lot of people would just agree with you.
Well, the problem is that
You're talking like men don't know how to ask women out, but they actually do. Men know this. Men do all of this. But modern women aren't accepting it. You have to be, and we're not just talking about attractive, we're talking about ultra attractive, super attractive, in order to even get my attention. And then, even in that situation where she was talking about, since when men don't know how to ask women out, let me help you. Even in that scenario, you're talking about, well, you don't feel comfortable with me picking you up, which is totally fine. At that point, you said, I'll just meet you there. Oh, you want me to send an Uber? No, I'm not going to send an Uber. You realize, depending on where you are, you might be an hour away. So now you want me to pay upwards of $70, $80 for an Uber to drive you an hour across town. And then there's another $80 that I have to spend. That's $160, and we haven't even gotten on a date. That's $160, and I haven't even seen you. I've dropped $160 and I haven't even seen you. I have not even seen you in real life. Have not physically touched you, hugged you, spoken a word to you. Don't really even know what you look like. You could be catfishing. That's a real risk. But you want me to trust you. And then, okay, let's say everything goes great and you're real. Then I have to spend, I think one woman said minimum $200. That's $360 for the chance that you might say, oh, well, I'm not really feeling it like that. Sorry about that. You'll be okay though. You'll find your person. And if a man has to continue to repeat this little cycle, how many times do you think he's going to be able to do that? No.
Women might not even realize that they're pushing their man away until it's too late, until he's gone. Here's how you notice. It's not always cheating that drives men out. It's disrespect, constant negativity, emasculinizing him, belittling him, and making him feel like no matter what he does, it's never enough. When men feel drained instead of inspired, they don't explode. They retreat. They stop opening up. They stop putting in effort. They stop fighting for the relationship. And then the women play the victim, acting blindsided when he finally leaves. But the truth is, you created an environment where he couldn't thrive, where his presence felt like a burden instead of a blessing. And men will not stay where they feel unvalued, unseen, unappreciated. So if your man is pulling away, stop pointing the finger at him and look in the mirror. You might be the reason. Respect him, admire him, build him up instead of tearing him down, because the moment he realizes peace exists without you, he'll never come back. And that's a hard truth most women don't want to hear.
Because the problem with women in social media is really not the media itself. It's what we choose to consume, right? So for men, a lot of times they consume content that is about leveling up to some extent, how to get more money, how to look better, how to attract more women, whatever. For women, oftentimes it is just content that validates you're perfect the way that you are. Everything about women is great. You don't have to change for any man. You can just keep being yourself and somebody is going to come into your life and fall in love with you just as you are. That's the issue, because then we're not growing. We're not challenging ourselves. We're not becoming better people. We're not becoming better women. And the women that do try and make content like that, y'all reject them like, because you think that they're talking bad about you, when in reality, they're just asking you to do better, step up, become a better version of yourself, so that way you can actually get the things that you want. But y'all just want to believe that you can stay the same and get the things you want. And that doesn't make any sense. So if we collectively as women change the type of content that we consume, I think that it could help us grow. But, the girls just want to hear about what's on sale and clothes and makeup and shoes and hair and blah, 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 blah.
You got people that chronically run people off and then complain about the fact that they are no longer there. Oh, nobody ain't here for me. Nobody ain't nothing for me. I had to do this all by myself, because you wanted that story, baby. You wanted that story. You wanted the struggle story. You wanted the story of nobody loves me. Everybody does this to me. Every time I give my heart away, they hurt me. And you do stuff to run people off, and then you act as if you don't understand what you did to run those people off as to why nobody's in your corner. Make it make sense, y'all. Please, how does it make sense? Run for the hills. Like, I know now. When somebody say how all these different people that did them wrong, baby, I need to know what you did. What did you do? What did you do to make these people say they ain't messing with you and they gotta leave out your life? What did you do? What you do? What you do? I don't know. Seems kind of fishy to me. Because everybody just left you. Nobody wants to deal with you.
Men talk about when they're alone, because I genuinely do not understand how men do not know personal.
Okay, so I guess this is a secret that many people don't know. Pop culture loves to portray men as being very simple and shallow, like we'll get together and we'll just talk about sports all day. We'll never get into anything about our personal lives. And I guess women don't realize there's a reason for this. From birth, it was my understanding that the most noble thing you can do as a man is not be a burden on other people. And most men I've known experience talking about deep subjects as work. You are putting a burden on them. It's not a burden to talk about sports or video games or Warhammer figures, but it is, in our perception, a burden to talk about our jobs, our relationships, and so on. So the arrangement you wind up with is, because I like you, I'm not going to burden you.
Many years from now, there is going to be a quiet crisis, loneliness, in women especially. Not because women failed, not because they weren't capable or intelligent, but because they were handed a script or a blueprint that left out the consequences. Be self-sufficient, put your career first, you don't need a man. So they followed it. They pushed love down the line. They delayed the family. They treated commitment like something that could always wait until it didn't. Fast forward a few years later. You're older, no partner, no children, no legacy, just some noise to fill that silence. Meanwhile, your grandmothers had way fewer choices, but way stronger direction. They built families. They built the roots. They built something bigger than themselves. And this generation swapped it all for convenience. Legacy for pleasure, meaning for freedom without structure. And here's the part that nobody likes to talk about. The men that they overlooked in their 20s, they didn't just vanish. They were building, failing, learning, becoming disciplined, and becoming men. Men don't peak early. They compound with time. Value grows with time and skill and responsibility. Women don't gain leverage by delaying everything. That is not cruelty. That is reality. Every decision comes with a cost. Modern narratives today did not remove the bill, they just postponed it, and the outcome is usually the same. Distractions instead of connection. Comfort instead of intimacy, and independence without fulfillment. This is not about going backward. It's about correcting the course. We don't need less ambition. We need stronger values, commitment, family, masculine leadership, feminine devotion, and a shared purpose, because freedom without foundation doesn't liberate. It isolates you completely. And tradition wasn't the problem. Abandoning it was.
Why you would rather be trapped with a bear?
I would choose a bear because more often than not, if I'm not a threat to the bear, if I'm not like safe, it's like not a mama bear that's trying to protect her cub, then more than likely they're not going to bother me. Like,
where you getting this information from?
I actually read a lot. I follow a lot of nature pages and like that. So as long as you look just as threatening to them, they'll leave you alone. And then after that, I'll go about my business. I don't trust men as much as I might trust an animal. Like animals, for the most part, they really do steer clear of us. A man, like he could be on anything. He could be tweaking in his head. I don't know what he's going through in his life. He might try to snatch me up when he...
What if the bear is fucked up too? What if the bear got like some severe trauma? Like they just gonna attack anybody they
I'll
see?
take that chance with a bear. I like animals. I don't
You'd rather be attacked
trust.
by a bear?
I've had experience with men already.
So wait. So let me ask you a question, right? Who you think you got a better chance fighting?
All right, see, now this is where y'all got me up because it was a very blanket statement, a very black and white question. Now y'all putting stipulations and extra.
All right, but you...
I've been like driving on a regular street with the sidewalks and everything, and there's a bear right there, and there's also a random crazy man right there too. And sometimes the crazy man might do something. You know, it's never really been like the bear does something. It's more so a fact
unprovoked, right?
Yeah, it's more so a fact of I'm angry, so I'm gonna attack them. I don't like this about them, so I'm gonna attack them.
I'm not a Yogi Bear specialist or anything like that, but I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I've seen countless videos where you have to stand still and not react when a bear is even on you, touching you. You have to stand like a statue, and even if he presses up on you, you can't run.
Why are we pretending like these aren't still wild animals? If they both
You went to worst case scenario when it came to the man, but not the bear.
But realistically, people are in the forest all the time.
The man could just be as lost as you are, and just like you say, humans are more intellectual, so I can
but
figure
hold
out
on,
a way
I'm
to
trying
get
to
out
figure
the
out why
woods.
y'all trying to make us change how we
I'm
not make us, but y'all asked us a question, we answered. Y'all about to
men.
I don't know why.
Man,
I
that
just
would be in a
wanna know
woman,
why.
man.
I just
Wanna want bump buddy.
And that man is not listening when you speak to him, because evidently you know how to speak to everybody with respect, your homegirls, your manager, people on the street, but you don't know how to talk to him and come correct. It's not about what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. We really need to focus on checking not only our tone, but our temperature. The temp. Bring it the down. Instead of the whole, I just think it's funny that maybe try approaching it differently. Give him his flowers, then give him critiques so that his defenses are down. Baby, I know you've been working hard and I've been seeing you showing up, but I really feel like you kind of been falling short in this area. Do you see how that just changed the situation? It went from a 10 to a guy 5.56. That's where they need to be at. Okay? Watch how you're talking to your significant other. If you can respect your boss, then you should be able to respect your man. The focus. Thank you.
Do women need men in this world?
No. A woman is trapped in an overturned SUV.
It's flipped upside down.
She can't breathe. Her head is pinned under the sunroof.
Her head's pinned.
She can't breathe. She can't breathe. Please. Time is running out.
She's trapped under the vehicle. I can't get it off.
Mommy. What happens next is superhuman. The deputy lifts the 3,500-pound SUV to free the woman. You hear him grunting at the top of his lungs.
Come on, trying to get out. Is your head clear?
It worked, and here is that hero today. Deputy John Holtz of the Gloucester County Sheriff's Department in Virginia.
All I did was just put my shoulder into the door frame and brace, and then, just stood up. And that was enough to free her.
And this isn't the first time Deputy Holtz has come.
There was a clip where they were talking about the man versus bear, and the woman was like, we all asked us a question, why are you trying to make us change? Well, I think y'all were having a discussion, and the discussion is, would you choose a man or a bear? Well, I would choose a man or a bear because of this, and this. When you continue to talk about it, I mean, we understand the psychology behind it, but when you talk about it, it just doesn't make sense because you don't really see a bear all the time. Well, there's people that live in the woods, that. You don't really. If you give bears, like say for instance, because it's not apples to oranges, or it's not apples to apples, it's like apples to zucchini. It's not the same thing. It's a different class, right? You see men every day, almost every second of the day. Whether you watch TV, you get to see men in every facet of their life, every angle possible. You get to see a man in that from afar and up close, and to go through that. You don't get to see a bear in that angle, in that facet at all. So it's going to change because you don't really ever see the bear hungry like that. You might see the bear walk out and be kind of curious. Bears are curious a lot of times. So they're looking to see, I'm just looking for food. I'm seeing what's going on. You never seen a bear in a mood. You've never really seen a bear go through certain emotions or generally be spooked about something or just generally be in a rage about something. You've never seen that. So all this talking about, well, I feel this is purely emotion, and it's stupidity at the end of the day.
Yo, these chicks is really wondering why men don't approach them.
Are you guys single?
Yes, sadly.
So you are meeting guys at bars and clubs, and they are coming up and talking to you?
No. Guys do not come up to me. I don't know who's teaching y'all, but
that part. Would you prefer that guys walked up to you?
Yes, but it depends.
It's gotta be a good line. It's gotta be a good line.
Yeah.
Really strong line.
I think a guy walking up to you talking about, hi, how are you? My name is Joe. What's good? Is a good line.
Yes.
Like, what's good? Yeah. So what's your name?
If they notice that you're interested, if we're making eye contact across the room or something, if a random guy just comes up to you out of nowhere and you weren't giving him the signs that you wanted him to, that can be.
At this point, I don't know what to say about the dating market. They want guys to come up to them, but at the same time, they got videos online saying that men, that they're creeps, they don't want to be approached by men, we don't need men in this world. And then on the other hand, they want to be approached and they're wondering why. You're with your friend. We keep thinking, yo, we're going to go up there, be called a creep, or your friend's going to speak like, nah, yo, she don't want you. Or if I buy you a drink, I got to buy her a drink. The expectations are ridiculous. At this point, the women should just come up to the men like, yo, if you like it, if you like me, just say what's up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got to give you the signs. Oh, it depends. If my back is turned, don't come up to me. There's so much, like, you got to climb up so many hills just to get a number. And I don't even know who this lady is at the bottom. Just freaking, what's good? What's good? That's a good line. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And the other chick, oh, he got to come with a good line. Yo, why can't I just be like, hey, what's up? I saw you from across the room. I'm Jay, blah, blah, blah. It's never that simple. You know what I'm saying? Having to buy your friends drinks or hear scrutiny from them if they don't like me. They speak for the chick that you trying to talk to. It's a mess, man. Like, it's not even the same no more. And it's not even worth it, honestly. And like nowadays, you could buy from a chick for less than what dinner costs with no commitment if you look hard enough. So I don't know what these chicks talking about. Things got to change if you want shit to go back to old. These women ain't even traditional women, so there's no point about being a traditional man. And that pretty much sums it up. When you out there dating, you need a sign for even me to think about coming up to you just to make you turn around here.
If you do not train yourself to listen to your man before he marries you, you will struggle to listen to him even when you are married. A lot of women, they wonder why they are still not married. It is simply because you do not know how to listen. Marriage does not teach you submission. It rather exposes the rebellion that is already on the inside of you. Whenever you do not listen to that person, that man you are currently with, you are communicating resistance and rebellion to him. Men will not tell you that they are testing you, but they are testing you each and every time he asks you to do something. It's even in the silliest requests that he might ask you to do. And whenever you refuse to do that thing he asks you to do, it might be changing the way you speak, the way you dress, how you show up, how you speak to him. Something as simple as, please go and do this, and you choose not to do it. Or maybe you talk about how before he came into your life, nobody told you what to do. Now he just can't come and tell you what to do. What you're communicating to that man is, I will never submit to you. I will never listen to you. And I am the queen of my own world. And men don't want a woman who is going to compete with their authority. You need to understand that most women who fail to listen, they struggle with a controlling spirit, a spirit that always wants to be in charge, have things go their way, tit for tat. If he does this, I'm also going to do it. A lot of women, you might not know this, that man that you're currently with, he might have already disqualified you as his wife because you have failed all the listening tests, the submission tests that he has put you under. So you do not wait for the ring to listen to him. You listen to him even before the ring, because that's what will prove your ability to submit to that man.
The biggest thing that's concerning is that, like, all of the older women, when I say older, like 50 plus, are strongly passionate about younger women, 20s, 30s, not getting married. It's like you can see your future and they're telling you exactly what.
You know what I find interesting? When you listen to married women speak about marriage and married men speak about marriage, this is typically what they say, right? The man usually says, she's always nagging and nothing I ever do is good enough, right? And then you listen to a woman who's married and she complains about the marriage and she always says he doesn't do enough. Now, y'all remember that lady who got on here and who was complaining about how she almost divorced her husband because he didn't put the dishes in the dishwasher after coming home from work? But here's the thing. She stayed at home. Right? And then you hear this other topic about if your husband got off of a 12-hour shift, right? 12-hour shift at work. She feels like she should be able to hand the baby over to her husband after he gets home from his 12-hour shift, because she wants time to relax. Now, everybody's saying, well, he still needs to be a father. Okay, cool. Let's switch the roles. Let's say you were working a 12-hour shift at the factory, at the warehouse, at the construction site, right? You get home after 12 hours. Your husband is a stay-at-home father. When you walk through the door, your husband hands you a baby. Sounds silly, doesn't it? Because it's silly. He works for 12 hours, sleeps for 8. 12-hour work, sleep 8. That's 20 hours out of 24. He has 4 hours to himself. And 2 of those is getting ready for work, going to work, and coming back. So dude has 2 hours. 2 hours. And you can't even give him 30 minutes when he walks through the door? I know what the problem is. Women are never content. Like, there's never enough. Like, they never have enough. That's why men always complain, nothing I ever do is enough. Women will complain, he's the greatest man I've ever met. He's great, but it's still not enough. Listen to what a woman who's been married complains about. It's always she wants what? More. What does a married man complain about? It's never enough. So yeah, you could be completely miserable in your marriage if you don't learn contentment.
If I plan all the dates that me and my man go on, and I plan all the trips, and I plan our future, and I plan everything that we have going on, and all he has to do is hand me some money or hand his car to me, what has he done as a leader? Because in a relationship between a man and a woman, the man is the leader. He is the head. Okay?
Right.
What has he done as a leader to be intentional, to put forth effort, to initiate? What has he done? It sounds more like instead of you being in the passenger seat and him driving, you're driving, he just put the gas in the car.
Gentlemen, this here is exhibit A of why you should never marry or date a slow woman. She just minimized the gas in the car. Like the car can still drive anywhere on that planning list that she put together without gas. She just minimized the finances, the funds, that without it, what she has listed here are only hopes and dreams. This is actually something equivalent to what happens in a lot of relationships. They're just chicks out there who, when they run out of things to complain about, they come up with like this. Beware. Because this is what's going to happen. You're going to get in a relationship with this type of woman if you don't really pay attention and take heed to what I'm saying. And you're going to be trying to explain to her why this sounds stupid. You don't want that, right? You don't want to have slow conversations. Slow down so she can keep up with the logic and say, so let's walk you through this. Do you think a leader has more responsibility? She'll say, yeah. So do you think that more responsibility means harder work? Yeah. So is it safe to say that funding the trip is harder than making the list and deciding where we should go and what activities we're going to do when we get there? No, I think that's the hardest. Okay, then you fund the trip. Come on. Slowness. Beware. Don't do it to yourself.
And I think, kind of going to back to the clip where Sensei Jay was reviewing a couple of young ladies. I think they're relatively pretty. I think there was a few ladies in there. One was older. And the two young ladies, relatively pretty, I'd say. But they're asking why guys aren't approaching. And you can already tell that they think that they're too much, right? Even, if I look just a little bit of good, that's it. You can't tell me anything. And that's what happens with a lot of modern women. You can't tell them anything. There ain't nothing that they can do wrong in their eyes, and they think that's the way that everybody else sees them. But I think the older lady said, it used to be that men would come up and say, hey, how are you doing? I think that's a good line. And they finally said, yeah, that is a good line. If he's attractive, well, you have to understand, and this is what modern women don't really understand. I want a man to approach me. I want the man that I want to approach me. Right. But you don't think that just like you were going out for a job, you're going to different companies and you're saying, I can offer my services. And these companies get so many applicants and they have to sift through the applicants to see which one they find worthy. Sometimes they pick a bad candidate, but it's their decision. Y'all are not even doing that. Y'all are just saying only qualified candidates that I think are qualified. Come and approach me. Come and talk to me. Oh, and by the way, we're not even going to give a job description. Just if you know, you know. Well, I don't know. How would I know? I'm not about to guess either. That's the way that modern women think. That's the way they act. And that's why they're getting the results that they're getting.
Let it all work out. Let it all work out.
The post is, if your girlfriend looks better than your co-parent, you're going on child support. In my experience, wholly accurate, 100% accurate, without a single doubt. And you're probably going to have a whole custody battle on top of that. I swear it's true. I think this is hilarious, and I'm glad somebody else is seeing it, not just me.
You guys expect men to throw money at you for no reason. That's why they don't want to provide. That's why they don't want to protect. Because you're bums. You're bums, okay? Also, and this goes for everybody, y'all need to pick a corner, take a seat, and just work on yourselves. This generation is fucked up because everyone is out here dating each other through trauma. Y'all carrying trauma, dating each other. Here's dummy number 1 and dummy number 2, just dating and each other, energy exchanging, traumas, and traumatizing each other. We can't even blame our parents because motherfuckers are out here traumatizing each other. Take a seat. Be single for a while. Work on yourselves. Y'all don't realize it's not clocking to you. It's not clocking to you that you attract what you don't want and what you left behind because you're not getting the concept of a life lesson. Oh, you don't realize the people that traumatized you, their purpose in your life was to traumatize you into a life lesson. But since you're so closed-minded and so self-centered, you carry that trauma with you onto the next person and you try to traumatize them before they traumatize you because you're in fear of them possibly traumatizing you with the what ifs they're like that person. This is why I can't date. This is why I can't date now. Because y'all don't get it. No one gets it. Unless you're on this level with me, you're not going to get it. And here I am. I'm going to be that fat mirror right in front of your face. This is why I don't have friends either. Because people say some stupid like that to me. I'm going to reflect back to you and be like, hold on. Just take a look at yourself. Okay? Take a look at yourself. All right? That's it. That's all.
My question is, I'm a proud member of the First Wives Club. And my husband is on wife number 3 or 4. And I'm trying to figure out why after 20 years of being divorced, why is he on wife number and I'm single?
Because you're worried about what he's doing. I was about to say that too.
Go ahead, Donnie. No, ma'am.
Why are you even aware of what number wife this man is on?
Because he still lives in the house that we lived in.
Do you live there too?
No, ma'am.
That is no longer your home. That's his home. With his second wife, his third wife, and his fourth wife. You are still single because you are following behind his business. You have not spiritually disconnected, emotionally disconnected, or mentally disconnected.
If you're his garment and you don't say what he did as to why you really got a divorce and you allowed him to have wife number 2, 3, 4. Allow?
All right. First is the title. You say you're the first wife versus his ex-wife. All right, that's the first piece.
I call him my husband.
Right. So first piece is you'd have to divorce him psychologically. All right, and then you have to set, whenever we're talking about heartbreak, you have to set a date for healing. All right. And when it's hard, because let's keep it real. Has anyone ever struggled when someone broke up with you? It was difficult for you to move on. I mean, everyone laughing. All right.
Not 20 years difficult.
But it's still there. It's still there.
20
it's
years
still there.
Difficult. I am sorry.
Hey, listen.
This highlights
the importance of emotionally breaking up and divorcing as well. Because sometimes we physically break up with a person and we assume just because their physical presence isn't in our life, that emotional presence and that spiritual presence isn't there. And sometimes you got to shade the out of your heart. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of that, because if you don't, what happens is you now start to have a relationship with a ghost. Hold on, listen. You are loving the ghost of this man. And let me tell you something. You've been having this relationship with the ghost of who he once was. You call that man your husband.
Was my husband.
Hold on, listen. So you have had a relationship with the ghost of this man for so long, it appears real to you. And let me tell you this. This is why every man that tries to come in your life is haunted by the demon you didn't expel. These thoughts, these behaviors, you have to change within yourself, but that's first letting go of that ghost you are now in love with.
My ex-boyfriend just got married. We broke up 3 years ago. He just got married. And then according to his wedding registry website and the story of their love, he was dating her while he was dating me. We were concurrent. And that's fun. Isn't that fun? And I'm not one for sharing on the internet. You know, I don't do that. But I feel a need to shout this from the town square. Because he took my virginity and then I guess took her on a walk. You know, I met his parents one weekend at their beach house and then I guess she came up the next weekend. So isn't that fun? Isn't that fun to be a ghost? Be a ghost, be a mime. Hello, can anyone hear me? The answer is no. So this is wild. This is wild. Also, I was 20, he was 27. Crucial information there. You know, we isolated together during the pandemic. And I guess they did as well. When? Okay. So that's so fun. And if anyone has any tips on how to handle these feelings, because I don't even know what they are. Thank you so much for the hack. The hack on how to deal with this. Because it's crazy. And it's 3 a.m. And I can't sleep. Because what do you mean? Thank you.
I'm the shiz naive. You should follow my example. Bitch naive. Cause I'm front row. Isaac, Ms. Naive. I'm the fuck.
Cheating on them wasn't enough. Cheating on them wasn't enough. Embarrassing them to their faces, you know, it wasn't enough. These women had to go the extra, not even couple clicks, the extra couple clicks ahead and embarrass them not only privately, not only locally, but publicly on the World Wide Web. They had to, and then not even just say, oh yeah, I cheated on my man publicly on the World Wide Web. No. Wasn't enough. They had to post his face. Not even just his face. Nope. That wasn't enough. They had to post his face smiling like, yep, that's me. I got cheated on. Yep. These women are demons. Evil. Straight from the depths of Hades with Cerberus and all them. Just, yep.
Y'all, there's something my husband told me in the shower that every wife and every husband needs to hear. So he was taking forever in the shower. Okay, so I came in and I'm like, babe, I'm gonna take all the hot water. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. He said, I was just in here thinking about you. Instantly blushed. I don't care. I love my man. Instantly blushed. And I was like, what'd you think about? He goes, the helpmate that you are. There's things about me that I didn't even know until you believed it. And gifts that I have that I didn't even know I was capable of until you spoke it. And then he says, a lot of men don't know what's embedded in them until they have a wife who shines light on it. He hit me with the word. He's like, you know, death and life are in the power of the tongue. And you can have a wife whose words breathe life into you or whose words slowly God planted in you. Y'all. And that hit me. See, I believe my husband can do anything and can't nobody tell me different. I don't care. So in 2020, when the gym shut down, I wanted a squat rack built in our garage, and not just any squat rack. I wanted the squat rack that folded into the wall so that we could still park our cars there. And so I wanted my husband to build it. And he's like, babe, I do not know how to weld. I looked at him and I said, yes, you do. Like, you can do anything. What do you mean? And when I say within 3 days, I had a squat rack, I had a bench welded, I had a dip bar welded, I had the safety arms welded. And from that, he started making squat racks during the pandemic and made $40K in the first month. All right. Fast forward to 2025, my husband has a chiropractic table manufacturing business. He creates them, designs them. He figures out the innovative functions and all that stuff. And he tells me, I would have never known I could do this if it wasn't for you constantly pulling out of me what God placed in me. So y'all can say what y'all want to say about marriage. Say it's just a piece of paper. Say it's only for women. Say it's better to be single. But the Lord says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. And that's what we believe over here.
Yeah, these modern women don't care, man. I think Dazon was looking at women cheating and they don't care. They don't care. They think that they're pretty enough to outrun or outlive their mistakes. They think, oh, well, I don't have to worry about, not having a man. I don't have to worry about that because men are just going to come for me anyway, right? At some point in time, you have to realize that your luck is going to run out. That's what you are. You're getting lucky and your luck is going to run out. You're not going to be able to keep on treating men like this. Y'all are going to keep on jumping from man to man to man to man. And when that man and it usually happens this way, unfortunately, when that man that you really, really want, you finally get him after I don't know how many years, he finally breaks up with his girlfriend after 4 or 5 years. And now you've been in his face. So he says, okay, we'll give it a try. Because, some of these ladies, they don't look bad, right? Okay, we'll give it a try. She seems nice enough, but she's actually crazy. She's actually psychotic. And then when you realize, oh, shoot, actually, no. And then you get put right back into the dating pool because you're crazy. Or it could be the other way around. He's actually crazy. And instead of doing your research and vetting him, you're like, oh man, it don't matter how crazy he is, even though he's been showing these types of things and we can see that maybe there's an issue with him and his behavior. I don't care. I can change him because I'm unique and I'm special.